What happened to Bonetown in the last few years? I remember when I used to come here that it was a nice little town.
I think it's just progress. The young prefer to go try their luck elsewhere, apart from a few exceptions. It's just down to us from the older generation to keep up the honor of Bonetown by welcoming the incoming tourists with love and professionalism.
I'd have to dispute that, actually. How come all the gutters in Bonetown are new?
In the last few years, we started having issues with the water network. It seems that the underground spring from which Bonetown drew its water is drying up. Then the mayor, to try and resolve the problem, decided to pay for this intervention out of his own pocket. This way, not a single drop of rainwater is wasted, and the city manages to keep going.
Isn't there a creek just outside of Bonetown?
Yes, but it comes from the same spring that provides water to Bonetown, too. Its level has significantly fallen in recent years, so we needed an alternative.
Who's the mayor of Bonetown?
The evergreen Steve Bonnet.
You mean that Steve Bonnet?
Here in Bonetown, there's always been only one Steve Bonnet.
I still remember him. When I was little, I called him Uncle. He's always been a well-liked person, and he was a great friend of my father.
Yes, that's him. He must deal with a lot of trouble, but he never loses heart. Sometimes I wonder why he bothers. But it's thanks to him that our city can claim such an effective collection system for the rainwater.
I'd like to go say hello to him. After what happened to my father, we cut all ties with Bonetown. Just another way to try not to be haunted by the memories.
You can find him at the town hall for sure. It's basically his second home.
Thank you. I get it.
Good.
Can you repeat where Steve Bonnet is?
You can find him at the town hall. He spends almost all his time locked in his office trying to solve the headaches of Bonetown.
Thanks. Thanks, and goodbye. I don't know how to use a quill. I can hardly write with a normal ballpoint. The last pages are blank. Well, the whole book is blank, actually. I don't want to go back. I think this is the town hall, and this is the entrance door. The upper floor seems to be condemned. The stairs don't seem safe. I don't want to risk hurting myself. What a weird globe. It's covered in notes.
I'm sorry, I'd prefer you not touch it. There's some important notes and I don't want to lose them.
Sure. I think he's Steve Bonnet. He has aged fast. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. I'm sorry, do we know each other?
It's been a while, hasn't it, Uncle Steve?
Uncle Steve? There was only one child that called me that. It can't be. Willy. Is that really you?
Yes, Steve, it's really me, Willy Morgan.
Son, how are you? Sorry if I don't get up, but my back is killing me. Sitting here all day is bad for my health.
All good, Steve. Thank you.
Tell me, what brought you back to Bonetown? It's been years since the last time I saw you.
I've been missing Bonetown.
I can hardly believe it. Lately, nobody ever comes back to Bonetown.
For the anniversary of my dad's disappearance, it's been 10 years. I was thinking of swinging by the cemetery.
Already 10 years? Time seems to have stopped in Bonetown since then. I sought refuge in my job to forget. I don't see your mother. Does she know you're here?
I told her I was leaving. She's away on a business trip.
How is she? I tried many times to contact you in recent years, but she never answered.
It was very tough for her, too. She preferred to make a clean break from the past, concentrating on me and her job. Bonetown is a memory that still hurts a lot.
I understand.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Willy, and welcome back to Bonetown. I can't show you around, but for anything else, feel free to ask.
Thanks. How are things going here in Bonetown?
Not very well, I'd say. It's becoming harder and harder to run Bonetown. People leave, and the problems are constantly increasing.
Yes, when I got here, I had problems parking my bike.
Parking problems as well? That too must go on the list.
You mean the lack of courtesy at the old inn?
Are you staying at the old inn? The owner seems to be grumpy and surly. But actually, alright, I'll try to talk to him at the first opportunity. I'll write it down among the many things to do. I'd let you stay here, but to deal with the city expenses, I left my old house. Now I sleep in that little room over there. It's the only way I've found to be able to run Bonetown as best as I can.
Have you ever thought of hiring someone to give you a hand?
Yes, but funds are limited, and nobody wanted to take on this responsibility.
I saw some construction work on the buildings.
That's one of the bigger problems in the city. It seems that our water resources are drying up. Some people say that upriver, certain companies have been doing excavations that caused the fracturing of some faults. But I launched an investigation. There's no correlation. So I'm trying to solve the problem by recovering rainwater. And at the moment, it seems to be working.
I hope so, for Bonetown. Do you remember what happened to my father?
It's always painful for me to talk about Henry. We grew up almost like brothers, before he decided to leave and become one of the most famous archaeologists in the world. Despite his work, he always found the time to come back here to the family, and to meet his old friends. Unfortunately, his disappearance is still shrouded in mystery. The night we said goodbye in front of the old inn, where he was staying. The next morning I stopped by to say hello, but there was no trace of him. His room was intact. The innkeeper said he didn't see him going out. That's all I know. Since then, I've been racking my brain to understand what happened, but Henry seems to have vanished into thin air.
Just like Mom always tells me. Do you, by any chance, know what Dad was working on?
I wouldn't know. Whenever he'd come to Bonetown, he told us fantastic stories of the places he explored. We felt like we were there with him.
Dad was always an exceptional narrator. When he told me a story before bed, I couldn't sleep right away, but instead spent a good part of the night fantasizing.
He used to do the same thing with us here in Bonetown. Everyone was enthralled by him.
See you later.
Come back whenever you want. You'll always find me here.
Thanks. I don't think that ransacking this paperwork will help me in any way. There's a lot of disorder up there. Better ask for permission. I'd risk looking like a thief. These are stamps of Bonetown. Can I borrow a stamp?
Of course, as long as you use it responsibly. Even if they're dated back, they're the official stamps of Bonetown.
Thanks. I'll use them well.
Actually, when you're finished with your stuff, you can help me out with that stamp. I have a lot of paperwork to authenticate.
Gladly. See you later.
Come back whenever you want. You'll always find me here.
Thanks. It's full of every kind of bottle and vial. I don't even know if some are legal or not. Should I smash the window and take the contents? I don't see a reason yet. It's the drugstore door. There are even some love potions and other remedies not known to science. It contains a lot of jelly beans. It only works with 5-cent coins. Drugstore of Dr. Fred. Fred Every. Better leave it where it is. The sign says, "Welcome to the fabulous Bonetown New Pub." It's by far the most modern thing I've ever seen here in Bonetown. The city extends. Blacksmith since 1827. I think he knows his business. I don't need it. It doesn't seem to be in good condition. What could I do with a cart with a couple of wheels missing? There's everything imaginable here. This is the hood of some car. I can't get there, and above all, I don't need it. It's a very well-polished door, but still a door. I can't believe it. Somebody brought the engine of an F-18 to get fixed. This blacksmith must be very good. I'll think about it later. Maybe I could mount it on my next bicycle. Its brightness really draws attention. Lately, the value of copper has gone through the roof, but I don't really want to rob this poor town. Armor always intimidates me a bit. Shiny. It's the Bonetown Armory. It looks really massive. I'll remember it in case a dragon appears before me. I hope I don't have to compete in some strange medieval tournament. I'm a peaceful guy. I don't want to bring weapons with me. Copper of very fine quality. It's a souvenir photo booth and some posters belonging to the Lafitte Park. There's also a super promotion. 1 shot, 3 posters. Interesting. Let's try and hope it still works. There's a super promotion. With a single shot, you'll see yourself in your current form, in the guise of a pirate, and, brand new option, in the guise of a drunk pirate. All offered by the Lafitte Amusement Park. The things you do to attract customers. Woo! I better go out and recover the posters. I'm curious to admire the different versions of myself. Great, 3 posters of me. It says, amusement park entrance to the right, main road to the left, lighthouse straight ahead. It's not very nice to reverse the directions. Someone could get lost in this huge city. I think they're installing the new gutters on these roofs, too. I'm quite sure it's a felony to remove public material, and I can't see why I should do that. One of the few things still left intact from the Lafitte Amusement Park. I could stand in line waiting for someone to show up, or I could spend my time any other way. Lafitte Amusement Park. I think this was once an amusement park of a certain reputation. Now it looks completely abandoned. It's not my kind of souvenir. There's a stone staircase that ascends to the top of the mountain. It's the seagull's nest. I can see many little objects inside that it's surely picked up around Bonetown. Wait a minute. I believe I see a coin. I think I could find a use for it. can't take anything until the seagull goes away. I'd rather leave it in peace. It looks pretty aggressive to me. Such a nice little animal. Actually, scratch that. Keep out, threatening, but not excessively. I'd rather leave it here as a warning to all future visitors. The planks still look in good shape. I'd say all these signs create only unjustified panic, and this comes from someone who rode a bike with no brakes. Better not remove any pieces. I'd risk compromising its safety. It's a rudimentary control box. I think it adjusts the position of the lighthouse. There's a sort of map with coordinates, but there are no other indications. I don't really know how it works. There should be some instructions somewhere. It's the opening to access the actual lighthouse. It's the opening to access the actual lighthouse. It's the old lighthouse of Bonetown. It must be nearly identical to what it was originally. Then some piece was added during subsequent maintenance, but I guess its basic function remained unchanged. I don't know how to make it work. It's a beautiful horizon. I think I can even see Oak Island. It can only be admired. 1699. The light will guide you. I guess it's praise for the job this lighthouse had to do. I wonder how many ships it helped dock safely. There's also a list of things to do. 1, start. 2, steer. It doesn't seem difficult. I wouldn't know what to do with it. It's the entrance door to the instrument store. Really flashy. A guitar is always useful, but it would be a waste to ruin such a beautiful sign. These are pebbles of pumice stone, light and with 1,000 uses. A few pumice stone pebbles could come in handy. They're light but resistant. A ship is depicted. Maybe it's some sort of allegory. I wouldn't know what to do with it. I think it depicts a village with a boat getting closer. I don't need a stained glass window. In any case, it's nice to be admired from here. I think it depicts a village with a boat getting closer. I don't need a stained glass window. In any case, it's nice. It's a beautiful stained glass window. From here I can't see it clearly. Maybe by entering the church it would be more visible. I can't take an entire window. Load and shoot. It seems to be an old machine for throwing baseballs. It won't work if you don't start the engine first. From what I see, I guess it still runs on gasoline or something similar. It's an old engine, but there's no gasoline. I can't. It needs gasoline to work. It's a box full of tools.
It doesn't seem like a good idea. Unless it's a matter of life and death, my tools cannot be touched.
I get it. It's an old car. He seems very busy with that car. I don't have my driver's license yet.